So pimpin', if I had to choose between the GoPro and the DJI, if I had to choose like one to return, I'ma have to go ahead and say it would be the DJI Osmo Action 3.
Very good.
So I legit got up, picked up baby Sky Money this morning, and look at all that hair he has. I've been trying to put his pants on for like 5 minutes. Oh man, it's raining. Gotta change shoes. Quick coffee break since somebody's sleeping. Okay, this was not very well thought out. I got all this stuff in my hand, and I gotta get my coffee. Alright. Now look, don't get it twisted. He a thug too, so don't get it twisted. I got so much to do today, like for real. I gotta hop on the laptop really quick and let my team know that I am running late because, yeah, that's just life. Ooh, another rainy day, which means we are probably not gonna film the entire video outside. Cause let's be real, we ain't trying to ruin the Sony a7S III. Now I do need to take a couple of meetings, and then I actually need to make the thumbnail for today's video, and then we are going hard in the paint on the GoPro Hero 11 versus the DJI Osmo Action 3. Because you guys already know how it gets down. Nobody sent me the camera, so hashtag not sponsored, but hashtag if you want to sponsor me, DJI or GoPro, hit me up, yo. All right, now I gotta go hop in a couple meetings, but before I do, definitely gotta give a huge shout out to today's coffee sponsor, my big ninja Benjamin. And now Benjamin, get those videos out for real. Get them out. And lastly, Cobra, thank you so much for the coffee. You are definitely a ninja boss too. And now Pimpin', if you want to buy me a coffee, Pimpin', don't be shy. The link is down below. And if not, you already know I ain't a hater. We are good, Gucci. But I do gotta get my booty back to work and hop in this meeting. What is this guy doing? Just blocking the entire sidewalk. Shoot, I'm walking over here. Watch out. Thug walking.
If it wasn't for you, things that you do, I would be nowhere. If it wasn't for you, things that you do, I would be nowhere.
All right, now before I actually get into these two cameras, I do want to let you guys know that the goal of when I review cameras is to literally just basically be as honest as possible. Because I know, just like you guys, this is your hard-earned money. Just like I bought these with my hard-earned money. Because nobody sent me these, nobody sponsoring this video. Hashtag I'm down though, hashtag I do it for the culture. Because my ninjas, I've been there, like for real. I was once that guy who would buy a camera based off of reviews that I saw. He run into like basic problems that no one mentioned online. It's not something that's hidden, it's things that a basic person will figure out just by using the camera for a day. So now that you guys know where I'm coming from, let's get into these two cameras and my final thoughts. And why you might want to actually think twice about buying the DJI Osmo Action 3. Now, Pimpin', since we ain't haters, let's start off with the pros first. And let's start off with GoPro. And the first one has to be the new sensor size. And now, although it doesn't make a huge difference in image quality compared to the 9 and the 10, the sensor size does show that GoPro has some kind of innovation because they're the only camera that has an 8x7 sensor size. The next pro is the dynamic range. Now, Pimpin', GoPro Hero 10, 11, and 9 have amazing dynamic range. And like you could see, if you just look at the last video I posted, you could see how crazy the dynamic range is. Like, it is good. The next pro has to be the battery life. Now, although it did not last nearly as long as the DJI Osmo Action 3, this camera is shooting in 5.3K. So no, Pimpin', I was not expecting the GoPro to do better than the DJI Osmo Action 3. But again, the reason that the battery life is a pro is because it did last quite a long time and it's shooting in 5.3K 30. Not to mention I had 10-bit turned on. I also had the bit rate to highest, and yeah, it did pretty okay. So to me, that is a total win. Which brings me to the next pro, and that is image quality. Like pimping, it does not disappoint. The image quality on the Hero 11 is really, really good. Now it is about the same as the 10. Like I couldn't really tell the difference. The image quality is solid, and it is good in the day. I gotta throw in the day outside. Just gotta throw that in there. The next pro has to be the active stabilization that they've added to the Hero 11 that the Hero 10 does not have. And then the last pro has to be the settings, like just the little things like the tap to expose and just having an option to bump up the bitrate to 120, plus not to mention the option to change the sharp. And now let's get into the DJI Osmo Action 3. And the first pro has to be the audio. The audio is a lot better than the GoPro in my opinion. It just sounds more natural. Because when editing my last video, I realized that the GoPro sounds just a bit muffled compared to the DJI Osmo Action 3. And the next pro for the DJI Osmo Action 3 is that you can plug any microphone in it without having some expensive adapter. Like you could just plug it in and go. And that is just something that I wish GoPro went back to, because at one point they did have the same option, but they started making these mods and brought out this like crazy adapter. And these things weren't cheap. So DJI gets a huge plus for being able to just use any external mic with your DJI Osmo Action 3. The next pro of the DJI Osmo Action 3 has to be its magnet game. Like pimp, like come on, like GoPro, what are y'all doing over there? Like I'm tired of this, okay? But you know what? Come on, we getting off topic. But yes, the magnet game is a total win for me. It's one of my favorite things about the Osmo Action 2 as well as the Action 3. I love that you can just snap it on, snap it off. It's just so quick and easy. Get on that magnet game, pimp. Then the next pro for the DJI Osmo Action 3 has to be the battery life, because for real, this thing will last. Now again, it is only shooting in 4K, but it lasts a long time. And then speaking of battery life, the fast charging is also a huge plus, because you can charge this thing up to 80% in 18 minutes. I mean, that's gangsta stuff right there. Like, come on. And then the last pro has to be the overall reliability as well as the build quality of the camera itself. Because pimping, to be real, the camera is built so well. The buttons down to the screen. And then it's also reliable. And that is a huge plus for me. And now let's get into the cons. And the first con of the GoPro Hero 11 has to be quality of the overall camera. Because although there was some innovation with the GoPro Hero 11, everything else has been recycled for years now. And if I'm being honest, if I'm just keeping it real, it's not even like the GoPro Hero 9 and 10 were built really well either. It was kind of just thrown together all. The next con has to be the audio. And what I mean by the audio is the audio isn't bad, but I hate that it starts very low and then picks up. It happened in the 9, it happened in 10, and it's the same problem with the Hero 11. And then the next con for the GoPro has to be indoor shooting. For some reason, I cannot get good, like decent footage out of the GoPro when I'm shooting indoors. And just like if it's not well lit and the sun's not shining in the window, this camera just shows so much noise in the black. And then my last con for the GoPro Hero 11 has to be just a 10-bit coloring, in which you don't really see any difference. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand 10-bit is a big deal, but like you cannot notice the difference between the regular Hero 10 and the GoPro Hero 11 10-bit. Like you just can't see the difference. The quality is amazing now. But pimping, if you looking to cop this camera just for the 10-bit, I would not get it. I'm just being real. Don't even bother. And now, big pimpin', let's talk about the cons for the DJI Osmo Action 3 and why you might want to actually really think about this one. And now the first con to me has to be that it does not have the tap to expose. And that is such a great feature. I don't know why they took it out of the camera. Yeah, that is a big con to me. And then the next con for me has to be that there are no extra settings. There's no sharpness settings, there's no bitrate settings, nothing. And now even though it is expected to get 10-bit later, like I said with the GoPro though, I don't think it's worth getting just for 10-bit. I mean, I'm just being real, because I don't see that much of a difference in the GoPro. Unless DJI can pull it out, like unless they can, I wouldn't get this just because they're gonna offer 10-bit. And although this is not the biggest con, it is a big con, and that is the image quality is not good enough. I mean, my ninjas, we're about to go into 2023, and this looks almost just as good as the Osmo Action 1. And I know y'all probably like, wait, don't you mean the Osmo Action 2? No, Pimpin', no. Because if I'm real, the Action 2 has better image quality. I did some comparisons on my own, just at home, and yeah, the Action 2 shows a lot more detail than the Action 3. And if I'm honest too, like I'm a huge DJI fan, but this should not be an issue. They are pumping out amazing cameras, amazing drones, just all these amazing things. why aren't they putting it in this camera? Like, where's the image quality? Like, come on. And if I'm also being real, I'm not really looking for 5K or anything like that in the Action 3, but it should have better image quality. Just a fact. Like, it should have better image quality because the GoPro just goes ham on the DJI Action 3 when it comes to image quality. It ain't a game. The GoPro ain't plugged into the Xbox 360 up over there. They giving out smoke to DJI for free. Like, DJI can get all the smoke. And what sucks is that DJI is better than this. Like, it seems like the Action 3 was kind of an afterthought, which brings me to my biggest point of why you may not want to even pick this up, or if you are thinking about picking it up, like, you might want to think hard or wait a little, because the reason for that is it seems to be out of focus. Like, for some reason, at first I thought it was just softness. I thought it was just too soft, but pimping after editing that video and going through these images is not the soft, like, it looks out of focus. Now, it's not out of focus all the time, which means I'm thinking it's probably like a focus distance issue, which really, like, man, pimping. If you rock with this channel for a minute, you will know that I hated the Insta360 1R 1-inch mod because it was literally the same deal. It was always out of focus. Like, everything else around me was in focus, but when I was vlogging myself or vlogging other people, and that is a big problem to me. I mean, that is such a strange problem to have. Like, you buy these cameras because everything's in focus. Why would you not make the main subject in focus? But seriously, in my opinion, that should not be a problem that we should have. I don't know why this thing looks like I'm just out of focus in most of the shots. And again, this is something that I didn't even realize because the screens are so good. I didn't even realize that it was just out of focus. And now let me go ahead and back up and just say, I'm not sure that everyone has had this problem. I haven't seen anyone say this in any videos or any reviews, but I have noticed it. And it also seems like some of you guys notice it too as well when I read some of the comments. You're just losing so much detail, and to try to sharpen it in post does not work. Like, I've even tried it. I've tried it a couple of times. I don't know why it's like that. And again, it could be me, it could be the memory card, because I did use the memory card that came with the camera. And again, I don't know why it just looks like I'm out of focus a lot. And ever since I noticed it, I can't unsee it now. Like, I see it in almost every video that I make with this thing. Like, even with the Action 2, the Action 2 is soft, but I'm in focus. Like, I can see it. Like, you can clearly see a lot more detail than the Osmo Action 3. And that is why I am actually really thinking about returning it and maybe just getting another one just to see if maybe this is just this model. But yeah, that is a huge bummer because I have seen people get pretty decent image quality out of it. But when I look at my footage, I'm just like, what am I doing wrong? Yeah, it seems to always be out of focus. And if this is the case, that would be a huge disappointment. But anyway, pimpin', those are my final thoughts on the GoPro Hero 11 as well as the DJI Osmo Action 3. And that was the main reason I said in a couple of videos, hold off until you watch reviews, especially your boy Sky Buddy. Because no matter how much I love DJI, I gotta call it how it is. And yeah, that footage looked out of focus. Definitely hold off, look at some more reviews, look at the video I just made. That will give you the perfect indication of what I am talking about. So Pimpin', I hope that helped. And if you liked the video, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to buy me a coffee, Pimpin', don't be shy. The link is down below. But if not, y'all already know I ain't a hater. My hood never let me be a hater. And I will see you in the next one while I try to figure out what to do about this Osmo Action 3. Because, man, that was a letdown. Man, that man.